What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where in this one, I want to talk a little bit about the offense. One of the players that is kind of buried on the depth chart. We don't see too much of him, but we do know Alec Pierce likely to be out with the way the concussion protocol goes in the NFL. And with him being in it, it's likely he's probably going to end up missing the game. Now, if he doesn't, that's great, especially with the matchup that he's going to have in the game. Just like he had a favorable matchup against the Titans, and we were exploiting it all day until he got the concussion. I do expect us to have a good matchup on the other side of Michael Pittman Jr., this time with A.D. Mitchell. Now, A.D. Mitchell is somebody who has all the talent you could possibly want. He just really hasn't had the opportunity to put it all together. But I went back, I figured out, okay, when has he played the most snaps in his career? And that actually happened last year against the Bills. Michael Pittman Jr. with his back injury ended up missing the game against the Bills. And in that game, even though the Colts lose 30-20, Joe Flacco was the starter of that game, goes 26 for 35, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor over 100 yards in that game as well. But I thought it was interesting looking back at some of what the receivers were able to do. Alec Pierce doing what he does, 4 catches, 81 yards. Josh Downs, 7 for 72. Nice efficient game without Pitt there. And then A.D. Mitchell was next in line. It was really a 3-man show in terms of receiving. A.D. Mitchell had 6 catches for 71 yards in that game. So if we can get any kind of performance like that from him in this game, I think that would be a very positive step. Now, I do think A.D., when you look at the struggles that he had last year, honestly, you can blame some of it on him for sure, but some of it was for sure on Anthony Richardson missing the mark. There were times where he had corners beat where it would have been easy walk-in touchdowns, but Anthony was missing the mark. Now, Daniel Jones has been on the money. One of the best quarterbacks, EPA per play, the best in the league. He's incredibly efficient right now, incredibly accurate right now. Everything really just going well for Daniel Jones in this Colts offense. And so coming into this game, you're going to have Michael Pittman on one side, you're going to have A.D. Mitchell on the other, and you're going to have Josh Downs in the slot. And I think, of course, you have Tyler Warren as well as a receiving threat, JT in the backfield. So I think this is an incredible opportunity for A.D. Mitchell to finally get in there and show us what he can do, right, as somebody who's going to be playing full time. I think this is going to be a very telling game, to be honest with you. A lot of people talking about we need to pay Alec Pierce. And depending on how this game goes, that conversation might get louder or that conversation might calm down. If A.D. Mitchell can come into this game and absolutely ball out on the opposite side of Michael Pittman Jr. and take advantage of his matchup, then I think there's definitely a chance that you could see where the Colts front office is like, okay, instead of paying big money to another wide receiver, we could just unfortunately, let him walk eventually and end up with A.D. Mitchell. So I think this is going to be a very telling game. And one thing that, as I look through everything, the matchup I like is that he's going against Emmanuel Forbes. And Emmanuel Forbes has had different times in his career where he struggled. He was drafted by Washington, and it really just didn't work out there, partly because of his frame. Right, he's somebody that if you want to get physical with him, he's going to have a hard time, right? And A.D. Mitchell's not the biggest guy, but he's a dog, and he's physical, and he's definitely bigger than Emmanuel Forbes. He can push Emmanuel Forbes around, which is going to be important in the run game. And even though ever since Ahkello Witherspoon went down for the Rams, there have been reports that Emmanuel Forbes is actually performing better and then what he has in the past. He's been more physical than before, but still has limitations for sure. So I think in term, A.D. Mitchell's a big-bodied receiver. You want to throw jump balls up to him like you do Alec Pierce. I think that can work in this game. I think this is a matchup that we should be exploiting and taking advantage of without a doubt. So, this is a good opportunity to see what we have in A.D. Mitchell. The one chance he got to be a starter and to play snaps. I believe the number was 58 snaps that he played. Again, 6 catches for 71 yards as a rookie with Joe Flacco as a quarterback, with Daniel Jones, and obviously more mouths to feed. Tyler Warren's going to be included in that. Michael Pittman Jr. Right now, actually, Daniel Jones to Michael Pittman Jr. Is the best passer rating in the NFL. And I saw a graph about, I believe it's catches above expected, something of the sort. And or below expected. Calvin Ridley at the bottom. He was really bad. Michael Pittman Jr. has been one of the best. And so Daniel Jones doing what he's doing, his connection with Michael Pittman Jr., you expect that to happen. We'll see what the game plan is for Tyler Warren and Josh Downs, but I really think A.D. Mitchell, with his ability to release, his ability to be able to turn the corner, get around a guy, get upfield. It's going to be interesting to see how they decide to play us in this game, right? The Rams run a 3-4 defense. We're obviously going to have to worry about the pass rush, which we'll talk about as the week goes on. The more homework I do, the more I realize this is just like Denver, a very real pass rush, but it presents a different kind of challenge, which again, we'll talk about that in a different video. But this one, A.D. Mitchell, man, I have high hopes for this game. He's somebody, I don't think I have him in any of my fantasy leagues. Definitely going to have to think about it because, again, I think if we're going to be successful on offense, A.D. Mitchell is going to have to be a big part of that this upcoming week. And we're going to have to exploit the matchup that he has. I think there is going to be chances for downfield passes. I wouldn't be surprised if he just absolutely cooks Forbes off the line, gets behind him, and Daniel Jones gives him an easy touchdown. Like, that really wouldn't surprise me. Is that guaranteed? No, the Rams have a really good defense. Really good defense. Coming into the year, I expected the Rams to have the best defense in the league. That's what I was telling people, right? I was going after the Rams defense in as many fantasy drafts as I could possibly get because I believe they will have, if not the best, a top 3, top 5 defense in the NFL this year. Now, they don't have an easy schedule. Their own division is very difficult, and we have to play their whole division for what that's worth. But as we go forward into this Rams game, again, 4:05 on Sunday, we are going to be streaming here on this channel, so make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. But again, A.D. Mitchell, man, time to see what we have. Just like the thumbnail says, it's time to see what we have, right? Now that you have a quarterback that's playing well, what are we going to get from A.D. Mitchell if he's a starter for us? This is going to be, again, an incredibly important game, not only for A.D. Mitchell, but for Alec Pierce and the potential of the future of what this team is going to look like and how this team is going to be built as we go into the future. A lot of people are going to need to be paid this upcoming offseason, or if we continue to perform well, hey, well, let's pay some guys before the season's over, lock them up, make sure we have them next year. So we'll see what happens from that aspect. And that's a conversation that as the season goes on, we're not too far away from having the who needs to be paid and who doesn't conversation. But this game is going to provide some insight into part of that conversation. So, again, plenty of content to come, not only this week, but throughout the season. Going to keep pumping out content. Got another video coming about one of the young guys on the team here later today. So if you enjoy the content, make sure you hit the like button. Let me know what you're thinking down in the comment section. How do you think AD is going to perform this week against Emmanuel Forbes, against that Rams defense? Do you think he's going to be able to have a big day? How you feel about AD Mitchell going into this one? I'd love to hear where Colts Nation is at on this one. And of course, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you continue to get notified anytime we drop any content, or like I said earlier, when we go live on Sundays, not just for the Rams game, but every single week. Love to have you guys dropping by, hanging out during the game. And of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.